So, welcome everyone to class number 2. And this will be a continuation of where we ended in class number 1. And we're deepening our core connection and utilizing our abdominals now as we mobilize our limbs or adding a little external support. But let's go ahead and make our way down. Make sure you have a pillow for your head. And we're going to come down on our side and roll over onto your back. So, kind of get used to really kind of rolling over so we can protect our back as we're getting into position here. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the ground, hip distance apart. Take your hands on your pelvis, and we're going to find a neutral pelvis here. So hip bones level with your pubic bone. Good. You got a little curve in your lower back. Hug your ribs in and down. That's a lot of nuance, but the more you practice, the easier it is and it's more available to you. Let's inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, blow through the lips and draw gently up through the pelvic floor. And then see if you can sense that feeling of drawing up towards your navel. Try to keep that connection now as you breathe. Inhale into the bottom lobes of the lungs, keeping the shoulders relaxed. And then exhale. If you've lost the connection to the pelvic floor, just reconnect and drawing up towards the navel without flattening that lower back. Just take some practice. Inhale here. You could practice this on a daily basis. Exhale. We're doing it on our back, but this should be kind of a connection you can do standing and sitting as well. Good. Let's go ahead and do one more connection. Take an inhale and exhale, keeping that connection. Now we're going to add an external load starting with the left leg. And you're going to inhale, take the leg a little bit out to the side. Now, for most of us, it goes about halfway out. You don't want the pelvis to move. Do an inhale there. Now exhale, draw the knee back. Good. And then foot flat on the mat. Try not to move that right leg. Good. Hands on the pelvis, just to sense if you're moving the pelvis. So we're inhaling, taking that knee out to the side. Good. Keeping the deep core connected. And then exhale, draw it back in. Once again, core is connected. And now we're disassociating leg from pelvis. Inhale. So as the leg moves, the pelvis stays here, right in that neutral position. So it's just the leg bone moving in the hip socket. Exhale. Now, this is a very functional movement. We do this getting out of a car. So every time you swing your leg out of the car, you want to make sure, just kind of keep the pelvis really still so you don't tweak your lower back every time you swing the leg out to the side. Here we're working on precision. Do one more. Inhale, taking the knee out to the side. And then exhale, deepening your core, bringing it back in. Let's do the same thing over on the right. Now stand your ground on that left leg. Inhale, right leg out to the side. And now exhale, deepen your core as you're coming in. Try to maintain the core connection now as that knee goes out to the side. Good. Now it might be really small. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, so just really working on your precision here on deepening your core against this external load. Try not to let the ribs move, the pelvis move. Good. That's actually stabilizing your lower back. Good. Exhale. Let's do two more. Let's take an inhale out to the side. Good. Exhale. Deepen your core as the leg is coming back. Left leg once again, nice and still. Inhale. And exhale, drawing that back to that neutral position. Keep your hands here if it's okay. We're going to switch our movement pattern, do a little marching. Good. So let's go ahead and just relax, kind of neck and shoulders. Take an inhale here. Now deepen your core, pull up towards the navel, and float your left knee up into a tabletop position. And let's inhale to put that side down. Good. Now do that on the right leg. Exhale, deepen your core and lifting the right leg up. Good. Inhale, let's lower. Now continue that movement and see how deep you can get your core connection here. Exhale, as well as keep the pelvis really still as you're moving one leg and then the other. Exhaling. Once again, as you're doing kind of a walking pattern or a gait pattern out in everyday life, yeah, it's a dissociation. Yeah, so you don't want the pelvis to be really tweaked each time you take a step or climb stairs. Exhale, these deep core muscles are available to you to stabilize and lower down. We're going for 6 more. Exhale, 6. See how still you can be. Inhale, big breaths. Lift pelvic floor to navel. Exhale, keep the connection. Let's do 4 more. Exhale, 4. Inhale, lower down. Good. Exhale, drawing up on the pelvic floor. See how deep you can get, and then maintain the connection. Last 2. Exhale. The next time the right leg is in the air, let's go ahead and hold it up there. Exhale. Good. Now we're going to advance the movement. Let's take your arms down to the side and do a little pressure of the back of the arms and the hands into the mat. Now we're going to do the leg to the side like we did with the foot on the floor. Here we're kind of upping the connection or kind of the strength required a little bit more. Good. So let's inhale. Take your right leg out to the side. Good. Don't let your pelvis move or rib cage. And exhale, bring it back in. Good. We got 4 more. Inhale. It can be really tiny little movement. Exhale. Try to keep your left foot anchored, left knee still. Inhale, take it out to the side. Exhale, pelvic floor to navel, navel to spine, ribs to navel. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Easy on the neck and jaw. Big inhale through your nose. Blow through your lips. Exhale. Good. Put the leg down. Do an inhale. Left leg comes up. Exhale and hold. Good. Now exhale your air out. Lift through the pelvic floor. Hug your ribs in and down. And we'll move on that inhale. Inhale, knee to the side. Any amount, doesn't matter. Exhale, draw it back to center. Good. Now, right side of the ribs, right hip stays anchored. You can use your hand just to kind of feel whether you're really stabilizing. I like to use my hands. Good. These are challenging for everybody. Good. Anchor that right foot. Good. So keeping the inner edge of the right foot down. Inhale, knee to the side without taking the pelvis or the ribs with you. Good. Let's do 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Right shoulder down. Actively push this side of the body down. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now put that foot down. Do a big inhale. We're going to float both arms up directly over the shoulders and do some arm movement here. And now we're really going to connect to these upper core muscles or rib cage connection. Maintaining the neutral. Exhale your air out. Pull up on the pelvic floor to navel as well as ribs to navel. Now take an inhale here. Keep that connection. Exhale, reach your arms up overhead. And I'm going to suggest going out into a little V. Yeah, so they're not kind of coming up by your ears. And go as far as you can, keeping the ribs anchored. And then go ahead and lift right back up. Do a big inhale, arms over the shoulders. Let's exhale, hug your ribs in and down as the arms go up. Palms are facing in here throughout the movement. Inhale in and exhale. Hug your ribs in and down. And you're working on maintaining that neutral pelvis or that little curve in your lower back. Keep lifting through the pelvic floor gently. Feel that connection to your navel throughout the movement. Good. And then coming right back up. Let's do 1 more. Exhaling and then inhale, coming back up. Leave your arms here. Good. Set your shoulders back and down. Now, I'm going to suggest your shoulder blades are a little bit wide so you feel your underarm muscle. We're going to add a leg onto a movement here. So you're going to inhale here. Now, exhale, deepen your core. Pull up on the pelvic floor. Float your left leg up. Good. Now inhale here. We're going to toe tap with that left foot and reach your right arm up overhead simultaneously. Give me a big exhale here. Inhale, pull the knee up, arm back up over the shoulder. Keep going. Exhale, deepen your core. Good. And coming back up. This is a cross pattern, and you're stabilizing against this cross patterning, which we do as we walk or climb stairs. Yeah, so you want to be really stable and have these deep core muscles available as you're doing functional movement here. We're working on a lot of precision here. We're going 4 more. Good. And so exhale, toe tap, reaching the fingers up. Inhale, drawing back to center. 3 more. Good. Exhale, toe tap, reach. Good. Coming back up. Let's do 2 more. Good. And then the opposite side of the body, stabilizing really still as we're mobilizing left leg, right arm. Exhaling. Good. Inhale, lift up. Good. Hold that arm still. Put that foot down. Do an inhale here. Now exhale, anticipate pelvic floor to navel, ribs to navel. Float your right leg up. Inhale here. Toe tap, reach left arm overhead. Exhaling. Inhale, lift. And exhale, deepen your core. And 2 lift. Good. Going to 8. Here's 3. See how still you can keep your pelvis and your rib cage. And 4. Big exhale. Use your breath. Good. That is your spark for your inner core. Inhale. Breathe into the bottom lobes of the lungs. Pelvic floor to navel stays connected. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Put the foot down. Arms are going to go down to your side. We're moving on to some hip rolls. You're going to take your pillow away, just slide it above your head. Good. And draw your feet in pretty close to the back of the hips, and we're going to roll through the spine. You're going to inhale here. Now exhale, let's do a tail tuck. So now you're going to press the lower back towards the mat, but pull the abdominals in and up, and then just lift your pelvis off a little bit there. Take an inhale and then exhale, lower the pelvis down. Good. And then lower your tail down so that the lower back resumes its little natural curve here, but don't lose that deep core connection. We're going to go a little further. Exhale. Let's do that tail tuck. Pelvis comes off. Good. Now peel that lower back off, but keep the bottom rib on the mat. Take an inhale here and then exhale. Let's put the lumbar spine down, the back of the pelvis. Good. And then the tail goes down. Good. Now you can stop at any point there, but I'm going to continue to lift a little higher. So exhale, recruit those deep abdominal muscles, pulling towards the navel. The pelvis comes off. Peel your lower back off to the bottom rib, and then lift the bottom rib up a little bit, but keep tucking your tail towards the back of the knees. Inhale there, and then exhale. Soften the sternum and put the bottom of the rib cage down, then the lower back, and then the back of the pelvis, and then the tail. Good. So you really want to open up. These are the best things we can do for finding a little bit more space in our spine. Inhale and exhale. Do that little tail tuck. Good. Ribs off. Then the lumbar spine. Once again, stop wherever it makes sense for you. Good. Then the bottom rib. Good. And then you can lift up to the shoulders if that feels okay to you. Good. So now the middle rib cage, bottom rib cage is off. Good. You want to hug your ribs in and down and then tuck your tail towards the back of the knees. Do an inhale here. Now delay your pelvis from coming down and soften the sternum, and you get your middle rib cage down, then the lower ribs, then the lower back, and then the pelvis, and then the tail. Keep your core connected. Try not to release. We'll do two more. Now, you want to drive your feet down as well. So you really use your feet here, inner and outer edge of the feet. Good. Pelvis off, lower back, bottom rib, middle rib cage. Press strongly through your arms as you lift your pelvis. Take an inhale here. Exhale, soften the sternum as you're rolling down through each part of the spine, delaying your pelvis so it really drags your spine a little bit longer as you're going through your hip rolls. Good. And then you find your neutral position without totally relaxing that core. Keep the connection. We're going one more. Exhale. Good. So only come up again as far as it makes sense for your body. Now, you feel any pain, of course, you stop. Good. But these are so good to work on a daily basis, pressing down through your arms, your feet, hug your ribs in and down. Do an inhale and then exhale, softening the sternum and articulating. Good. And delay your pelvis and your tail. So you're really lengthening the spine as you lay bone by bone down through that lower back, pelvis, and the tail. Well done. We're changing positions. We're going to finish on all fours here today. And we'll find our neutral position in all fours. Yeah, so knees right underneath your hands, hands underneath the shoulders. And we're going to find a long spine here today. Yeah, so go ahead and push the floor away a little bit. Yeah, so that the shoulder blades on your back are a little bit wide. Feel the underarm muscle. Good. And we're going to breathe in this position. You're going to take an inhale here. Now, see how long you can get your spine. Exhale, draw up on the pelvic floor, navel to the spine, but just lengthen out here. Now, your head is in line with the spine, so you don't want it to be drooping down. If your head's not in position, it's impossible to get into the shoulders. And if your shoulders aren't in position, then it's impossible to get into your deep core muscles. So we're going to find it here. You're going to take an inhale here, head's in line with the spine. Exhale, lift through the pelvic floor, deepen your core, and lengthen out. Good. So try not to round the spine here. Try to get long. Inhale in through the nose, expand the bottom lobes of the lungs. And then exhale, drawn up through the pelvic floor, deepen your abs and hug your ribs in and down. Don't want the rib cage to be kind of sinking down here. Let's take one more breath, just connecting. Inhale and exhale. Now we're just going to move the shoulder blades. Inhale, draw your shoulder blades in and down. Try not to droop the head. Exhale now. Push the floor away. Widen your shoulder blades. Feel a strong underarm muscle connection. Keep your spine long. Inhale, drawing the shoulder blades in. Exhale, push the floor away, deepening your core. Good. Keep your ribs connected. Try not to droop your rib cage. Inhale and exhale. One more. Take an inhale here and exhaling. Good. Now we're going to sit back towards your heels. If this position doesn't work for you, then just go ahead and sit in a seated position. But if this position is okay, we will sit back and round over. Now you have a choice. We're going to do some breathing here. You can keep your arms overhead, or you can bring them down towards your feet, or you can support them here on your forearms. I'm going to stay here on my forearms. Now inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, do a little connection to your core. So pull the navel up away from your femurs if that feels okay. Yeah, inhale here. Good. Try to relax the neck and shoulders. And exhale, drawing up on the pelvic floor in this position and pulling towards your navel. Good. Try to keep the connection as you do that strong breath into the back of the ribs. And exhale. Let's go ahead and deepen that connection. Let's do one more. Inhale And exhale. Good. Now roll yourself up. Good. And we're going to finish in a seated position here, crossing your legs, coming into a diamond shape of the legs. And let's do a side bend here. Let's everybody take your right arm. Let's inhale to lift. Now feel your abdominals contract and side bend up and over. Good. So we did this in a seated position, sitting on a towel. Good. See if you can pull your pelvic floor up towards your navel, ribs towards your navel. Inhale, exhale, side bend over, switching sides. Inhale, let's lift up. Exhale, we'll do one more here. Inhale, good. Exhale, feeling the deep core connect as you're side bending up and over. Let's inhale to lengthen. Exhale, one more. We'll inhale, exhale, up and over. Beautiful. Inhale, let's lift and exhale, lower down. And we will stop there for today. Hopefully, you felt a good connection. And I would just suggest really finding those connections as you're moving through your day. And that'll just strengthen your core and really emphasize, your body developing that neuromuscular connection to keep those deep core muscles connected as you're mobilizing and doing everyday activities. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next class.